Along with Hotshot, Ratchet was one of the last Universe 2 deluxes, and in classic G1 tradition is a redeco and retool of Ironhide from the same line. Ah yes, the Ironhide mold. I'd say it's aged poorly if its initial reception wasn't lukewarm at best, and this mode alone exemplifies why. With the addition of Universe Prowl's light bar, the SUV mode is now emergency instead of civilian, like with Ironhide or Shattered Glass Soundwave. While the general silhouette is decent enough, it's still recognizable as a vehicle. Well, let's just say, for a medic, he's the one who needs a patch-up. The transformation seams are atrocious. Granted, it's a transformer, they're inevitable. But most of the time they blend in pretty well, especially when they resemble panel lines you'd find on a real-life vehicle, like door or hood seams. Here they're all over the place, combined with some small gaps, and this looks like a failed kit bash. If anything, Ratchet's deco makes this worse. While the hood pattern flows nicely, the red stripes with the heartbeat sign, while not inherently bad, are in misaligned pieces across the side. Perhaps all this is why he has the semi-appropriate "Help Us" license plate, a reference to a certain cover from the Marvel Comics. The rest of the deco is okay, though why the random red on the roof, or the bright blue windows when the translucent blue windows are much darker? As you'd imagine from all those random seams, the transformation is rather complex, with an automorph that fills the inside of the rear windscreen when you fold in the bumper. The end result is a robot that's definitely the better mode of the two, but it still has its flaws. Aesthetically, aside from the glaring screws in the arms, his head is slightly sunken into his chest. This is due to some plastic on the spine that prevents the rear folding down all the way, including nubs which brush up against the wheel wells, in which case, I recommend dissection. Beyond that, the robot looks okay. It's fairly stocky, which suits battle-hardened veterans like the former Nissan Venet brothers themselves. While the color scheme of black, white, and red fits G1 Ratchet, the layout doesn't really match any incarnation of him, not even the old Marvel Comics, despite the earlier reference, since, amongst other things, the head here is white with a red crest, not the opposite. Everything else, for better or worse, is the same as Ironhide. 25 points of articulation, and once again, large feet equals good stability, though the waist joint is positioned at the back where it connects to the spine, not in the center like most figures, so when the halves rotate it looks weird. And of course, you still have the 2-in-1 weapon stored underneath the SUV. Push in one end you get a cannon, the other you get, well, I guess a scalpel in Ratchet's case. And as you may have noticed, you can either fold the hand back, or tuck it in the weapon itself. While I still don't think the mold is as bad as others do, it's still pretty weak. On top of that, both the Henkei and Universe versions of Ratchet fetch at least 30 quid online. So either wait for alternatives in future chug lines, or start doing the dishes, kids.